Andy, the first of the massive block of games coming up for Rovers. Your thoughts, please?
Yeah, we've had a good trip down. We've selected a 17 to play, and we're looking forward to playing London. And the big thing is for us getting the 2 points, but also making up for the game we had against them last time. So we're looking to control the ball a little bit better and prove what we can do.
A big disappointment, the performance at the big fellas against London. What lessons have you learned from that as a team?
I think we've moved on a lot since then, and even on the bank holiday Monday we moved on a lot. And I don't think that game was a fair reflection of our season, and the boys want to make up for it, and everyone else involved in the team does as well. So we're coming down here. We're expecting a tough game. They've got a decent side out, plenty of dual reg and loan players in, and it's going to be a good game. 4
games unbeaten coming into today. What confidence does that give the team? A lot of confidence coming into today.
It does, yeah. There's plenty of confidence throughout the team now, and everyone wants to play. The hardest job's been picking the team and keeping the boys with their feet on the ground, really. Not getting too far in front of themselves, because the 4 wins have come from hard work, and we need that today because London are going to offer a different proposition than Workington did last week.
Alex Foster drops out today and Rennie May-Tour comes back in. Can you give us any other team news and your reasoning behind that change?
Yeah, Fozzie's he's played a lot of minutes. He's been carrying a little niggle, so he couldn't really train all week. And Rennie was going to come back in somewhere. So Fozzie's resting this week. He's probably glad for the rest. He would have played, I'm guessing. He's a pretty tough player, but he had a great game last week, so it's not a reflection of that. But we've got a squad now, and we're able to rotate players. So Rennie comes back in, and although both back rows played very well last week, it was going to be a hard decision, but Fozzie's glad for the rest. He's needed it a little bit like Will Sharp needed it, and he's back today, and he can't wait to play. He's been bouncing all week in training, and I think we'll see a good game from him.
Luke Teasdale makes his first appearance off the bench as well today.
Yeah, Teasy's been ready for a game for a long time, and he's there and thereabouts every week. Remy Margine's got a bit of a knock on his ankle, so from the last week's game, and he was a 50-50 going into today. So we've brought Luke in, and he'll do a job off the bench for us.
Good afternoon, everybody. Welcome to the Hive here in London for today's Kingston Press Championship match between the London Broncos and the Featherstone Rovers. Quick rundown of the team news for you first of all, starting with the Broncos. At full back is a former Rover in number 5, Ben Helliwell. In the 3 quarters, number 2 is Rhys Williams. Number 3 is Ben Farrer. Number 4 is Wes Naigama. And number 20, Ilias Makani. Our dual registration halfback partnership, number 27 is Jared Samet. And number 28 is Tom Gilmore. And in the forwards for London, number 12 is Rhys Lovegrove. He'll partner Jamie Thackeray, who wears number 29. And number 14 is Brad Dwyer. In the second row is number 11, Daniel Harrison, and number 15 is Matt Garside. And the loose forward is number 31, Elliot Minchella. On the bench for the Broncos, number 9 is Ray Nasso, 32 is Elliot Kerr, number 18 is Jonathan Wallace, and number 33, a player Rovers should know very well, in Chris Anakin. Rovers then. At fullback is number 21 is Jai Hitchcocks. In that 3-quarter line is number 5 is Ben Blackmore, number 1 is Ian Hardman, number 3 is Nathan Chappell, and returning to the team today is number 2 Will Sharp. In the halfbacks, as you were last week, number 6 is Paul Sykes, and number 7 is Gareth Moore. The front row is also as you were last week, number 10 is Paul Wood, and he'll partner number 17 Matt James. And in between those two is number 9, Andy Ellis. One change in the second row sees Alex Foster drop out. He's replaced by Rennie May-Tour, and he will partner Jamie Cording. And the loose forward is as you were last week, it's number 13, Tim Spears. On the bench for the Rovers, number 30, Gareth Carvel. Number 16 is Andy Bostock. Number 15 is Jack Bussey. And making his first appearance of the season for the Rovers as they come out onto the field is number 23, Luke Teasdale. And the Rovers coach is Andy Hay. Today's match referee is Mr. Gareth Hewer. And no Joe again today, so delighted to welcome up once again after last week Up to the commentary box is Jordan Baldwinson.
Thanks for having me back, Ben. It's a pleasure being up here in the stands with you and being able to commentate this game. I think it's going to be a real battle today out on that field. I know that the boys are really up for it. We were talking about on the coach on the way down. Now we really need to get into these early doors. So it's going to be an interesting one, Ben, to see how this one turns out. Hopefully we can come away with the 2 points, mate.
Rovers with a point to prove after the home game. A very disappointing performance on Easter Monday to go down like they did, and they want to make a difference today, won't they?
100, absolutely, Ben. And you know what? We was only speaking about that game the other day in the video room, saying how much of an embarrassment it was that day. So I think we really need to come out. We've got something to prove, because the last time we played these boys, they really did dominate us in the middle, and they were just the team on the day. They were just a better team on the day. So let's hope that today we can turn it around.
Indeed, we are going to have a minute's silence before kick-off for Danny Jones. So we will return to you after this minute's silence for full match commentary on London Broncos against Featherstone Rovers.
He was just 29. During his career, Danny played for Aberdeen, Halifax, Keighley and Wales, and was a hugely popular character who will be sadly missed by all who knew him. A Just Giving fund set up to help Danny's wife Liz and their 5-month-old twins, Bobby and Phoebe, has already raised an incredible amount of money, and we would ask all rugby league fans to give what they can to help reach the fund's target of £100,000. Please join us in paying respect to one of the sports heroes by observing a minute's silence in memory of Danny Jones.
Have to say, Jordan, an absolutely impeccable minute's silence there in memory of Danny Jones, who suffered such tragedy last week.
And it really is such a loss to rugby league, and it's an amazing thing how the whole rugby league family can stick together through this hard time. And it will be a big loss to Keighley, and it's a big loss to rugby league. And it's outstanding how the whole rugby league, the whole world of rugby league has come together to help his family out in this such needing time.
Such a large amount of money raised for Danny Jones. And it is Paul Sykes who gets this game underway. That's a good kick-off. Well taken by the Broncos. So the Broncos playing from right to left in the first half as you look on the DVD. And that's a good early break from the Broncos. It's important for Rovers early doors, Jordan, just to keep the pressure on. Pin the Broncos back, get the defensive line set, and then build early doors as well.
Correct, Ben, and taking from last week as well, we can take a lot out of last week's performance, because defensively we were very strong. We were pinning them in their 20. We were getting three defensive efforts in their 20-metre line, which was an amazing effort. We need to bring it into this week. We know that London are a good team. We've played them before. We know what they're about. So this week we need to be really strong defensively, and we really need to win that ruck today.
There's a good early kick for the Broncos. Blackmore and Hitchcock's underneath it. Oh, it's an uncharacteristic mistake from Jai Hitchcock. Knocking the ball on from the kick-off.
You don't normally see them from Jai Hitchcock, Ben. He's normally safe as houses under that ball. Let's hope that the boys can turn this around now. A good defensive set on his own line. Something we really didn't need is this kind of pressure early doors.
Certainly didn't need this, and Rovers with a big defensive test now in from that kick on that last tackle. Gareth Hewart's the man in the middle today. So here come the Broncos now then. The first real attacking opportunity of the match. It's worked through the hands out to that right hand side. Here's Elias McCartney. Still going McCartney, gets the Broncos up to the 10. But good defence from Rovers on that occasion. Andy Ellis in the tackle and Paul Wood. The ball worked out to that right hand side again, but again, good defence on that right hand side for Rovers. The Broncos then 7 metres out, 10 metres in from touch. Ball's moved back in field now. And the Broncos back on the outside again, through a gap. And the Broncos are over. The try is given from Gareth Hewer. Not the start that Rovers wanted at all.
Absolutely not, Ben, and it's come from that one error there. Unfortunately, on this occasion, it was Jai Hitchcock to stop the ball and put the pressure on the team. But that is what the start we really didn't need, Ben. Let's hope we can come back out now with a good kick-off, a good defensive set. We really need to turn this round fast before it turns into like last time.
I think it was Jamie Thacker with the try. So a great start for the Broncos, only 2.5 minutes on the clock. London Broncos 4, Featherstone Rovers 0. A perfect start for the Broncos, not so for the Rovers.
It all depends now on this defensive set, Ben. We really need to get back into the action. That was a poor start by us boys out there, and the boys will know that they'll have their heads down after that poor start, but I'm pretty sure that we can bring it back here. So let's have a good set and let's see what happens.
So the Broncos set the line back up again. Rovers just need to get the hands on the ball and get some possession of this ball. They will be kicking back off to the Broncos, of course, from this kickoff. And it's important for Rovers now, after this goal is converted or not, as the case may be. We'll find out momentarily. And here comes that kick now. It's a good kick from Naigama. The try is converted.
Let's hope we can turn this around, Ben, because hopefully, we don't want to start like that. We need to start strong. We need to start on top as well, and that wasn't on top. Unfortunately, from that error, we've conceded points, and that's what we tend to do, Ben. When we make them little errors and mistakes and we give penalties away, we concede points. We really need to cut that out.
Andy Hay won't be pleased with that one as the kickoff comes from Paul Sykes. It's a lot deeper kickoff this time. It's taken on the 10 from the Broncos, and here they are on the charge again. The Broncos' tails are up. Andy Hay, what was said on the coach about the early stage of this match, Jordan, when Andy Hay is coming down there?
Well, we knew straight away, Ben, we needed to have a good start, and which we haven't shown there. And we know now that London, they love to play around the ruck. They want to go down the middle, so we have to dominate their pack. Obviously, we've not the great start, but I've got a feeling we need to turn it around now, turn the screw and get in the grind, because if we let London run away with it, it won't be a great day for us boys, and it's not a happy coach on the way home.
It's a long journey back after defeat. Dewsbury came down here, of course, a fortnight ago and won. So it is possible to beat the Broncos down here. That's a good drive in there, but good defence from Rovers on the Broncos 40. There's Reece Lovegrove. Another off-road, there's a knock-on. It's on the last, so it's a turnover. That's just what Rovers needed, Jordan. A turnover just inside the Broncos half.
We really did, Ben, there, and this is now our chance to put some pressure on them. We haven't had the ball yet, and it's been 5 minutes gone. This is our chance now to put the ball in their 20, threat their goal line, and let's have a crack at their try line, because we could really do with a try to get back in the game here.
Rovers unbeaten away from the big fella since the 8th of August last year. So the proud unbeaten record at the moment. Rovers looking to preserve that today. Here's Matt James now on the charge.
It's a great carry that, Ben, by Matt James, and that's what he's good at, getting them big carries and finding his front.
A quick play of the ball. What's the referee saying? He's
like
given a knock-on. Andy Ellis, it was a quick play of the ball. So Rovers at the moment under the cosh a bit. It's not quite going the way of the Rovers.
Once again, Ben, it comes from an error, like you see there. We had the ball in our hands, we had them in their own half. This is the first time we've been at any threat at their goal, at their try line. And as soon as we get the ball, second tackle, we knock the ball on. That's the things we really need to cut out of our game, Ben.
Completion rate is important in this such a big game as this. The teams around you need to complete sets.
Absolutely, Ben. And you know what? This is a massive game for us, Ben. This is a massive 2 points, because as we know, we've got some real big challenges coming up. We've got Bradford, we've got Leigh and London, obviously. They're all full-time teams, and we know that we need to be beating these teams in order to finish in that top 4.
Here are the Broncos, and just inside their own 40 again now. That's a good drive, getting the crowd behind them early. That's a good scoot as well into the Broncos half, and an offload as well. Lovegrove. The Broncos turning into Rovers at the moment. Dwyer moves that ball across the line. spreads it wide on that right hand side again. Dropping off tackles at the minute. Daniel Harrison causing the damage there.
We really need to grip up, Ben. We're not getting in tight, we're not getting our bodies on top, and we're not slowing their ruck down, we're letting them play fast.
Paul Sykes has to knock a great kick through. Sykes gets a hand to it, knocks it dead. It's a repeat set from the Broncos. The Broncos are well and truly on top at the moment. 7 minutes on the clock.
This will really test us, Ben, will this? I know that the boys will be blowing now. I know there's only been 7 minutes gone, but it is a long journey down here, and it does take a toll on your legs. So I know that myself played here many a times that this really does take it out your legs, and defending constantly will tire you out. We need the ball back.
There is the kick-off then from Rovers. Lands just short of the 40, and here's that first drive. And it's a good drive from Jamie Thackeray. Gets the Broncos 30 metres out. Through the hands it goes again now. Here's Rhys Lovegrove. Plays that ball. That ball's come loose and Rovers have come back up with it. Will Sharp alert there to drop on that ball. Rovers now just need to complete a set.
We need to put the ball down in their half, Ben. Let's take 6 drives and let's get a ball down. Let's kick the ball down in their area and let's put some pressure on.
Jack Bussey's on the pitch already. We've barely had 8 minutes. I'm pretty sure Jack Bussey didn't start, so there's a good scoop from Ben Blackmore. I'm wondering if there's a player gone off injured. It looks like there is.
It looks like Tim Spears to me, Ben. I'm not sure about you, but I can't see him on the field.
No, Tim Spears is on the touchline getting treatment, so earlier than expected, Jack Bussey gets an introduction. There's a kick from Moore. That's a good take on that far side from McCartney. But Rovers completing a set and getting the kick in a good position. Need to defend the Broncos here, Jordan.
We really do. We need to pin him in there 20 metres now. I'm pretty sure that the boys will get their heads together now and start winning this ruck, because we're losing the ruck. They're finding their front, they're playing the ball fast, and they're finding opportunities to break our line. We need to slow it down and we need to win this ruck.
Here's a scoop from the Broncos again. That's a cheap 20 metres made. Rovers hookers, markers need to be more alert than that. And there's a kick from acting half there from Brad Dwyer. Bounces once or twice, taken by Will Sharp, and here's the return. Will Sharp runs straight at the Broncos.
100 miles an hour, that man. That's what he is every week, is Will Sharp. Every time he plays, he's 100 miles an hour. He carries that ball so strong for us, and he's a valuable player to our team.
See it so often in the early stage of the sets, Jordan, the back three especially.
So good,
chiming into the line and taking some of the workload off the forwards as well.
They really do, Ben, and me myself knowing how it feels when you have to do 4 or 5 tackles in that defensive set and you're running back to get a carry. It's great to have people like Jai, Ben Blackmore and Will Sharp carrying that ball forward, getting you over that advantage line.
Here is Paul Wood now. Rovers just into the Broncos half. Gareth Hewer says that's the last tackle. What's the option now? It's Gareth Moore will kick for the corner. He won't find the corner, or will he? Ben Helliwell not interested. He does find the corner. Going to be a scrum down head and feed, only 10 metres to Broncos.
That's a good kick, Ben. You know, we can put them in the corner. We can take us time now, get the scrum formed, get a bit of a breather, suck it up, and let's go at them again now. We really need this defensive effort here to be a real strong effort. Let's pin them in their half and let's make them put a poor kick away. I think we could really do with more kick pressure, because they're putting good kicks in and we're not getting to him. We're not pressuring him enough, and he's finding the grass every time. So let's see what our kick pressure's like in the next few sets.
Heard it first from Jordan Baldwinson, joining me in the commentary position today. It's London Broncos 6, Featherstone Rovers 0. 10 minutes gone here at the Hive. Here's the Broncos then on the attack with McCartney. It was Nagama, it was, sorry. The Broncos seem to have seen something down that right-hand side, passing up obvious opportunities to move in field and attacking that Rovers left edge.
Well, they scored early on down that side, Ben, so I reckon they've got a bit of go forward down that side. They might think it's our weaker side, I'm not sure, but it looks to me like they're really targeting that edge.
Here's Lovegrove again. Drop pumping those legs, that's good metres made, 3 in the tackle, but still makes a further 5 metres. Dwyer plays that ball, there's a kick.
That's better kick pressure there, you see, by Jamie Cordin.
The ball bounced awkwardly, but what a take from Hitchcock. loses his footing, he's tackled on the 10, but great kick pressure on Jared Samet on that occasion. Here's Will Sharp now trying to get away. Rovers could really do with a penalty here though. Moore moves that ball inside. Rovers moving laterally. No, great defence from the Broncos.
We need something set up, Ben. We need us forwards taking us forward. We've got nothing set up. We've got Paul Sykes taking the carry on the third tackle. We need to have more strike and more go forward in ourselves today.
Here's Jack Bussey.
That's what we need. Someone like Jack Bussey taking that ball forward on the ad line, getting us forward.
Ellis now finds Moore. Is kicking from inside his own 20 is Gareth Moore. Says all about the great Broncos defence on that set. And they're starting this set, Jordan, on halfway. That's a great set for the Broncos.
It really is, Ben. And you know what? It's gonna really count is that defensive set. As you know, we were stuck in our 20 metres line, behind our 20-metre line for at least 4 tackles there. Gaz puts the kicker in, and they reach the 50-metre line.
A real let-off as the Broncos put the ball down. You could sense something building from that great position they'd earned from a great defensive set, but the ball hits the ground and a let-off.
100%, Ben, and like I said, they were looking dangerous in that set, Ben. We're looking at the force and error there because it looked to me like London were on the front foot. They were finding them quick play the balls, they were making them easy yards. So I think we need to now complete this set, get the ball down that area, and we need to pin them in their half.
It's not about scoring off every set, is it, Jordan? It's getting the position, getting the kick to the right areas and getting a good kick chase on the kick and forcing the mistake.
It's really not, Ben, and this is what Andy stresses to us every week, is that the game isn't won by trying to score on every single play. We need to play the sets out, we need to get in the arm wrestle, and we need to force pressure on London and force them to make them errors.
Matt James with a great drive there. Andy Ellis finds Moore. Moore with a pass to make 2 offloads to Ellis again. That's great play from Rovers to 22 metres out. Here's Jack Bussey now, change of direction, he steps away from 2, Bussey's through, what a run! And then I thought he'd force the offload, he didn't, he held on. Ellis now tries to scoot himself.
That's a better set, Ben, that's a lot better. Look where we've finished up. They're on their try line, they're under pressure. Let's get forward now and put some defensive efforts in here.
Disappointing way to end the set from Andy Ellis. That scoop from that's in half, maybe not the correct option.
Maybe want the correct option, Ben, but we've got to remember where we finished in that set. We finished 5 metres away from their try line, and I'll take that all day as a forward.
Indeed, Rovers can now defend the Broncos in the 20. Discipline is key on this set. You got a first real good attacking opportunity, pin the Broncos back, make them kick from deep, and it gives you the attacking opportunity to go from a good position. There is the kick. It's going to be a good kick. Is it too long? No, Blackmore takes it. That's a great chase from the Broncos. What a chase and what a tackle as well.
They really do look up for it today, the London, Ben. I'm not sure whether it's us that haven't really got into fifth gear yet or whether London look on fire, but it looks like it's going to be a real test from beginning to end, Ben.
Will Sharp with a scoop from acting half back. Andy Ellis now waits. He'll move inside to Rovers.
I think we need more push around the ball, Ben. We seem to be taking one-out carries and just going forward on our own. We need players in support, pushing with each other and creating opportunities for each other, because that's where tries come.
That's where the real positive was last week, is a backup play, Jordan, with tries to score. 3 or 4 tries scored from backup play and offloads.
Well, if you look back, Ben, over the tries we scored, most of the tries were from breaking breaks and people pushing through. As we've seen, Ben Blackmore pushing through with Jamie Cordin scores, Minzy breaks through, kicks the ball through, Jack Bussey collects and scores. So as we know, push is just as important as anything.
Here are the Broncos then, just inside their own 40, attacking down this short side again. It's a good drive from Matt Garside, gets them up to halfway now. Jared Samet moves that ball inside to Rhys Lovegrove. Broncos are in the Rovers half. Dwyer moves that ball across the line. That's a good tackle. Well spotted by Nathan Chappell. On in quickly and able to snuff that opportunity out. Naigama from acting halfback. There's the kick. It's a good high kick as Hitchcock safer under that one. Takes it well. But again, a good chase from the Broncos.
I think Jai learned from his mistake early on, Ben, and I think he knows now that to catch that ball on the full is massive because, like we say, they've had one chance of London to score and they scored from that kick. That's what we need. We need as forward, as backs taking it on the full, getting us forward, and our forwards finishing off them sets in good positions.
Here's Cording now. Ellis to Jack Buster, getting through a lot of work early doors after coming on for Tim Spears.
It is, and I wonder why Tim Spears has gone off, Ben, because normally it does last quite a long time. It's a quite a funny one. It might have picked up an injury, I'm not sure, but fingers crossed he's okay, Ben, he's not injured.
That's a charge down from the Broncos. Jared Samet took that ball facing his own line. Rovers fans wanting a knock on. That's good defence there from Rhys Williams by Ian Hartman. Got Hooker, Rhys Williams and Ben Helliwell working together, Hooker and fullback Dwyer now. That's a good drive in. Jonathan Wallace is on for the Broncos.
I think, Ben, Dwyer is one of their key players today for London Broncos. Last time we played them, Ben, he were really sharp and he were really dangerous around dummy half. And I remember on one occasion he got a cheeky try under the sticks where we switched off for that 1 second and he took it. So I think we really need to mark up on Dwyer today.
A very skillful player. As a short player and he's the sort of player, if he sees a gap he'll take it.
Absolutely, Ben, and I remember last time he played he was ducking and diving and showing and going, and he really is a threat around that ruck, and I think we need to tighten up around him and make sure our markers work together, talk him up and make sure that he doesn't get any opportunities today.
Here's Maitua taking that ball forward is Rennie Maitua. Hitchcock's from that's in half but stumbles as he takes it, so only able to make 5 metres. That's the last tackle. Rovers on the 40. More kicks for the touchline, but it's going to bounce nicely there for Ben Helliwell. And that's a good return. So the Broncos starting on the 30 now.
We need to remember, Ben, that we're not at this arm wrestle. It's only 6-0. We're only 6 points down, and there's only been 20 minutes gone. And I know it might feel like we might be on the back foot. We really are. We really need to make sure that we realise we're not on the back foot. We need to keep piling the pressure on, and we need to keep completing our sets, and we'll see what happens from there.
The words of Jordan Baldwinson down here at the Hive. It's London Broncos 6, Featherstone Rovers 0. The Broncos in possession just inside the Rovers half through Matt Garside. Attacking down this near side. Here's Rhys Williams. Lovegrove. It's all on, says the referee. Garside moves that ball inside. It's Minchella now. Rovers having an opportunity, Jordan, there to force the Broncos into touch. Not taking it, and now the Broncos on the attack.
It's a shame as well, Ben, because we could have done with that. But like I say, it looks like a dropout now for the Rovers, and it really is taking its toll, all this pressure that London are piling on us. We could have done with that, but London seems to have kept it alive, and look where they are now. They're receiving a dropout.
Rovers have got Ian Hardman down by the looks of it, just inside the 20. Sorry, no, Jack Bussey it is.
Is it Jack Bussey, or is it Bostock?
Yes, Jack Bussey.
Is it Bussey? That's a big loss
just
for us.
inside the 20, so the time is off. Already had Tim Spears off with an injury, replaced by Jack Bussey. And within 20 minutes, Jack Bussey's down. The thumbs up, I think.
It looks like it's his face or it's his head, Ben. It don't look good.
Concern over on the Rovers bench there. Andy Hay on the touchline. Jack Bussey able to continue, I think. Looks a bit dazed, but taking his position back in the line. Can't afford to lose any more players today. We've already got Tim Spears off in the opening minutes. So here's the kickoff then from Sykes towards that touchline. An interesting one.
Is that a knock on, Ben? No.
No, he went backwards from McCartney.
Oh, Will Sharp 1-on-1 here. No.
Will Sharp there, good defence. Here are the Broncos now. It's Jonathan Wallace.
No, that's the last thing we need, Ben, is any injuries. With myself out with a shoulder injury, Alex Foster's out with a bit of an injury also. Mason Tongs picks up a bit of an injury.
Great break from Ben Helliwell. Mason Tong's out as well.
Apparently so, Ben. Apparently playing for the reserves last night. I think he's done something to his leg, but fingers crossed he's okay.
So Rovers having a few injury problems again. Here's Dwyer, scoots away from one. Still going, Dwyer takes on the line. Well wrapped up by Bussey. Seeing the danger that Brad Dwyer causes, and Jared Samet now attacks in half. Williams, that's a great dab through. That is superb from the Broncos. Brad Dwyer causing the problems. A quick play of the ball. Back through the hands, a great kick through.
Like I said earlier on as well, Ben, like we know, Dwyer is a dangerous player. It will cause trouble to our line. It will cause trouble near our try line. And we really do need to wrap him up and make sure that he doesn't put any pressure on our line. But like we say, once again, I think that try there come from an effort thing. I don't think that it was anything to do with not being able to defend. I just think that we're running out of steam, and we need to find a bit of energy, a bit of power from somewhere, because if it carries on this way, it's not going to be a great day.
Rovers under the cosh early doors. 18 minutes left here in the first half here at the Hive. London Broncos 10, Featherstone Rovers 0.
This is where we really need our role model of players, Ben, to step up now. We need our senior players to lead from the front and show us the direction and make sure that we'll get back into this game, because this is where we need Paul Wood, we need Hardman, we need Sykesy, we need them all calling the shots, making sure that we're getting back in this game. We're not too far behind. We could be 10 or 12 points behind, and it's definitely doable, so we need to get our heads screwed on in this next set.
Here's Nat Karma with the kick. The goal is successful. The Broncos on the charge. London Broncos 12, Featherstone Rovers 0. Jordan, what do Rovers need to do to counter this Broncos attack at the minute?
Like I keep saying, Ben, it's all about defence at the moment. We really need to pin them out. We need to keep them away from our try line, and we need to win this ruck, because as you can see, London are really dominating the ruck. They're finding the front, they're playing the ball fast. Brad Dwyer's jumping out and he's causing us problems, and you've also got Samet, who's a real key player for the London Broncos today. He's really causing us problems out wide, and that, especially down our left-hand side. They keep targeting that side. They've scored 2 tries now. We really need to sharpen up on that side.
Rovers have introduced Andy Bostock onto the field to add a bit of punch to that attack. Can't quite see who's come off, but Andy Bostock is definitely on. Can't see Matt James out there. I think it's Matt James who's gone off. So Bostock on for James. He'll add a bit of go forward and a bit of aggression in defence, which is what you need, isn't it?
It will, Ben, and you know what, he does it every week without fail, does Bozzy, and I love playing alongside him, but he really will take it forward. He's got a real dangerous offload, which I really like about him, so that gives you more of a reason why you should push with Andy Bostock. Let's hope that he does add something to the forwards, and let's hope that he does bring a bit of jazz to the team, because we look a bit flat at the moment, Ben.
Great kick there from the Broncos. Blackmore takes it.
It's a penalty, Ben.
That's a relieving penalty. How Rovers needed that just to relieve some pressure.
We really did, Ben, and we really need to take advantage of this penalty now, and we need to get up that field, and we need to play some field position, because at the moment we've had no field position at all.
And so Rovers starting just inside their own 40. Here's Cody. Rovers then 5 metres short of halfway. Ellis finds Wood. Wood some more. Great offload to Bussey. Offloads to Bostock. That's more like it from Rovers. Bostock
Still
again.
Alive.
Still going, Bostock. That is superb.
He's lost the ball, Ben. He's lost the ball.
But a knock on. Great play from Rovers to build the attack, to get the position. The offload from Bussey to Bostock, and to get the position, but then turning possession over. And not only have they turned possession over, something's been said to the referee. So instead of just a scrum, it's a penalty.
And it really has let the London Broncos off there, Ben. We had him under pressure. Great play by Paul Wood, out the back to Gaz. Busted breaks the line and offloads to Bozzy. Bozzy keeps it alive and just spills it at the last second. These are the things we need to do. We need to keep hold of the ball. We need to play the ball, and let's have a crack at their try line. Because to be honest, Ben, I can't remember the last time we had a go at their try line.
A great penalty from Jared Sammer gets the Broncos up to the Rovers 40. So Brad Dwyer orchestrating things again and a real let-off. That ball is put down from the Broncos. It's Jonathan Wallace.
That really is poor core skill there, Ben. It was just a simple catch and tuck that, and we have really been given a big let-off there because that will really pile the pressure on London now. Let's hope we can turn that defence now into a real effective attack.
Jonathan Wallace has looked impressed in this opening 25 minutes. But a fundamental mistake and a real let-off for Rovers. And now Rovers trying to build. It's Nathan Chappell in possession. Ellis. That's all right. He got caught in Nathan Chappell's foot. So Ellis takes that scoop more now. He'll find Paul Wood.
It looks to me, Ben, like we're really trying to find our way forward now. We look like we're getting a bit more structure around our attack, and it looks like Paul Sykes and Gaz Moore are really charging the forwards about telling us where to go and what to do. So let's see what happens now in the next exchange of play.
Here is Sykes. That's a good scoop from Paul Sykes. Rovers 12 metres out, just to the right of the uprights. Here's the last now. Moore with a kick for the corner for Will Sharp to chase. Oh, the touch is on. The touch is on.
It looks like an obstruction, Ben.
I think we're going to see a penalty to the Rovers. Yes, we are. An obstruction, or I think. Tackled off the ball. So Rovers with a real big attacking chance. We need to take this opportunity, Jordan.
We really do, Ben, and this is the opportunity we've been waiting for the past 30 minutes now. 30 minutes gone. We've got 13 minutes. Sorry, 27 minutes gone. We've got 30 minutes now to try and get some points on the board before we go back in at half time.
Paul Wood wins the penalty. Interference at the play of the ball.
This is what we need, Ben.
Ellis
is the
takes that tap to Moore. Moore now. Rovers building the pressure. Paul Wood's on the charge again. Paul Wood could see he was lining up for it on that occasion. Let's have a Bostock style charge like that. I fancy he could go over if we do. No, Bostock's missed out. Moore out to the back. Hartman to Blackmore.
Oh, brilliant.
Ben Blackmore for Rovers. I thought Hartman had bombed it.
It was a close one, Ben, but it looks like Ben Blackmore's cleaned up for the Rovers and give us our first points.
A superb effort it was from Sykes to move that ball out. Through the hands of Blackmore, of Hardman it went. Flicking it onto Blackmore. Still had a lot of work to do, Jordan.
And it was great vision by Paul Sykes to spot that space out wide. And this is what we needed to get back in the game. We finally got our first points on the board. Paul Sykes with a perfect pass out to Ben Blackmore. Hardman's had a grab at it. He realised it wasn't for him. He's ditched it on, and Ben Blackmore catches and scores a point for the Rovers. A brilliant try.
The time is called off by the referee. An interesting one here. Jordan, Paul Sykes is kicking the goals today. Gareth Moore, of course, he's got over 100 for Rovers. He's walking back to the rest of the team, and Paul Sykes is taking the duties today.
Well, to be honest, Ben, I've been watching Paul Sykes in training this week, and he has been hitting them from all over the place. I think hopefully I haven't jinxed him here, but I think he will be quite good for us off of the cone today with Paul Sykes. He's always been able to kick, and he kicks out of his hands quite strong. So let's see what he's like today on the cone.
A massive conversion assist in terms of the game. This will get Rovers back to within a score, which is in the context of the game so far, and they've been under so much pressure. Still restarting this match with a 2-score deficit still could have a psychological effect as well.
100%, Ben, and this might sway the go forward of the London Broncos now. They have been quite strong going forward, and they have been dominant.
We've both jinxed him, I think, there.
I think we have, Ben. Unfortunately, that wasn't the best of kicks by Paul Sykes, and I know that he won't be happy with that one. But obviously, we're still in the game. We're only 8 points behind, so let's see what happens in the next exchanges of play.
One of the biggest things for Rovers now, Jordan, is complete this set. Take the kick off, complete the set, get a good kick in, pen the Broncos back in their own half and build from there. And
you're right, Ben, and it looks like we're starting to grab a bit of momentum our way now. We're starting to get a bit of go forward. We've had a few calls go our way, which is fortunate, but at the end of the day, you create your own luck. So let's see what happens in this next set. We need to complete and we need to get down that half.
29 minutes on the clock. It's London Broncos 12, Featherstone Rovers 4. Here is that kick-off now. Taken well by Sykes. He finds Andy Bostock. He's made a difference with Andy Bostock since he came on. With his powerful running, Jordan has lifted the team a bit.
It really has, and like I was saying earlier, Ben, his offload's so deadly, and when he gets his arm free, there's always someone around to snatch at that ball and get through that line. And he's also got great footwork for such a big bloke, Ben. It's unbelievable how light he is on his feet.
Here goes Ben Blackmore, scooting from that's in half. That's a good 10 metres made. The Rovers are in the Broncos half. There's a drop-off pass. Paul Sykes is wrapped up just inside the 40. How's the kick from Moore? It's a kick for the corner.
It's a good kick, Ben. A good pressure kick there to pin him in the corner. Let's see some pressure now. The Rovers need to get off the line and really nail them in their half here.
Rovers need to keep the discipline. They've had a good set from the try. Keep your discipline. No penalties now. Keep the Broncos here and force them to kick from deep.
Absolutely, Ben, and as you can see, the boys have really barred up. That's a great dominant tackle by Bozzy and Cordin there. Put him on his back, win that ruck, and give your teammates an extra few seconds in rest indeed.
A good kick from deep from the Broncos. A great bounce as well. Forces Will Sharp to take that on his own try line. Will Sharp hits a great run back, but a good chase back from the Broncos as well.
I think that kick was a great kick, Ben, and really let London off pressure there. It's made our forwards have to turn around and run an extra 60 metres after that massive effort.
Nathan Chappell now. Here's Rennie Maitua. He's been quiet so far this afternoon as Rennie Maitua.
He has been, but like I say, we have been getting dominated in the early exchanges. But I think you'll see a lot of him now. We see a lot more of him in this next 10 minutes of the first half. I think he'll come alive and he'll create some chances for us down that edge.
What a run from Maitua, what a run from Bostock. Even when he's tackled, he's looking for the offload. That's a kick back in field from Moore. Bostock's chasing. What a tackle from Bostock on Halliwell.
He really is having a wild of a game so far, Ben. Let's hope he can keep it up for us.
You can see the difference in Rovers now. They're completing the sets, pinning the Broncos back and forcing them to the Broncos to kick from deep.
It looks like we've found our second win, Ben. We look stronger, we look like we want to win the tackles, and we look like we're getting more dominant. And like you say, we're flying off the line, and there's 8 minutes to go, and we look good, we're looking strong. Let's hope we can keep it going now.
Here are the Broncos, and Dwyer moves that ball into Lovegrove. But good defence from Rovers. You could see them dropping off 1 or 2 tackles early door. Not now. Dwyer from that's in half. That's a good kick from Tom Gilmore. Hitchcock safe as houses under that one. Gable to get away from 2. Still going Hitchcock. Hitchcock is away. 9 Hitchcocks. That is absolutely outstanding. Oh my word. Jai Hitchcock from the kick takes it on the full, the length of the field. Absolutely outstanding.
You're right, Ben. It was absolutely brilliant work by Jai Hitchcock, and that is what we need, and that's what he's capable of. I said it last week, and I'm saying it again. This kid is an absolute star for us. He's an amazing signing. He does it every week. In the first few minutes, he did make a bit of a mistake, but I think he's made up for it with that try, Ben.
An absolutely sensational try from Hitchcock to take that tackle, take that ball like he did, Jordan, to skip away from 2 or 3 tackles, and then the pace to outstrip that Broncos defence. Absolutely sensational.
It really was, Ben. It was an amazing piece of play. And like I say, if you watch that back, it's not just a given that he's talented and he's fast. And like I say, he left what's the halfback's name, Ben, for Samet? He left Samet in the dust. He left him in the dust. So, like I say, brilliant work, Giants Cox, and it's put us up there. Let's see what we can do now.
We've not had an oh my word for a while, folks. That's a real oh my word moment for the Rovers. If you get the DVD, make sure you get it just for that try alone. Paul Sykes converts. Rovers are well and truly back, folks. 7 minutes left here in the first half. It's London Broncos 12, Featherstone Rovers 10.
Could well be one of the best tries I've seen this season, Ben. It was an absolutely outstanding play by Giants Cox. And as we know, he's such a threat with the ball. And if you're playing ever against Giants Cox, you must need to know that if he's ever near that ball, you need to wrap him up as quick as possible, because that's what he's capable of.
He's got such a dangerous fend on him as well. It's not just about in the open space. When he has the ball, he's got such a strong hand and such a strong fend. And the kickoff is out on the ball. Rovers on the charge. 6 minutes left. Can Rovers bring it on even more? Chad Bussey wants the ball. Nobody knows what they're doing. Rovers in the ascendancy. The kick-off out on the pool, a penalty on halfway. Can Rovers do the unthinkable and turn a 10-point lead into a lead at 10-point deficit into a lead at half-time?
I think we can, Ben. Look, let's see what happens in this next period. Look where we are on the field. London are under the pump. The Rovers are on the charge. We're going forward strong. Everyone wants to get a carry and everyone looks hungry. And that's a great carry there by Rennie there. Brilliant carry. Let's see what happens from this next set.
Ellis finds Paul Wood. A great stint from Paul Wood so far this afternoon. He's not been off the field. Ellis again looking to scoot away. Wrapped up well by Lovegrove on that occasion. Wood again now. Sykes. Drop off pass to Maytua. Offloads again to Bostock. Shrugs off one. Gets the offload away to Andy Ellis. Oh, Andy Ellis is inches short.
It was nearly over it.
Inches. Bostock using his power. Is he over? He is. It's over! Andy Bostock's over! Oh!
Absolutely outstanding play. And what vision there by Bostock. He should play hooker, should Bostock. He's absolutely brilliant vision there.
The strength that was shown from Andy Bostock then. From acting halfback. So much work to do. But using the strength.
It really looks like we've turned it around, Ben. We look like we were getting dominated. We look like we're the second best team. But to me now, I said before and I say it again, we're on top now. We're looking strong and we're coming back with a real big fight here.
What's been the difference, Jordan?
Well, like we say, Andy Bostock's come on the field and he's absolutely been tearing it up for us since he's been on. He's been getting in there for the strong carries, taking us forward, and it looks like we've just found our second win, but I can't really put my finger on it, but it looks like we've come out, we've turned a leaf and we look like a brand new team.
Seeing the first appearance of the season for young hooker Lou Teasdale. He was a fantastic talent towards the end of last year, finally getting an opportunity today. How's he been in training? He's
been looking good, Ben, and I tell you what, I used to play with Luke Teasdale down at Leeds Rhinos in the academy, and he was always one of the better players, so let's see how he goes today.
The try is converted for Rovers by Paul Sykes. 2 tries in 3 minutes. Rovers have turned a 12-point lead into a 12-point deficit into a 6-point lead, a 4-point lead. 3 tries for Rovers in the last 10 minutes. And the key now, Jordan, get to half-time in front.
Well, look at the clock, Ben. There's 3 minutes left on the clock. We need to make sure this is a safety set. Tuck the ball under your jumper, complete this set, and get the kick away. And we've lost the ball.
Hitchcock's unable to take the kick off. Rovers commit the cardinal sin. When you score a try, you've got to get the ball. You've got to complete your first set. Rovers unable to do that.
It's not a problem, Ben. All we need to do now is stay calm. If we start worrying about them having the ball with 3 minutes to go, if they put some points on the board, it really does put the pressure back on us. So let's stay calm. Let's get the ball over the halfway line and let's pin them out, because I'm pretty sure we're strong enough to do that.
A massive 3 minutes then in the contest of this game for the Rovers. That's a good kick-off taken by the Broncos, and here they are, the Broncos on the charge. It's Chris Anakin, a player that most Rovers fans will know very well. Penalty conceded by Luke Teasdale on Anakin for holding down. Need to keep the discipline the Rovers. Nassau's on for the Broncos. He's replaced Brad Dwyer. Suppose in a way that's a relief for Rovers. Brad Dwyer's been a real threat, hasn't he?
Well, I'd say so, Ben, because it always looked like he's a threat when he's got the ball in his hand. And I think putting Teasdale on now will really spark up our play. I'll always just give a penalty away, but that's because he'll be eager and he'll be wanting to get involved. But I think he'll really spark our play up now.
Garside tackle. Samet from acting half finds Lovegrove. Trying to spin out to tackle. Rovers, a good defensive set so far. Looking strong at the moment. Nassau moves that ball to Samet again down this near side. But well wrapped up by Rovers is Ben Farrer. Nassau waits. Samet, through the hands it goes again. Good defences from Rovers. Through the hands over on that far side, Nagame to Makani. That's on the last, a great defensive set. That's a turnover, and that's what you want to see when you're under the pressure like that from a mistake. Get the great defensive set on your own goal line.
Absolutely, Ben, and you know what? That's brilliant effort in defence by the boys out there. And look, we've got 1 minute. We've got 1 minute 38 seconds on the clock. Let's pin the ball under the jumper, complete, get a kick away, and let's put the ball down in their half, as far away from our try line as possible.
Luke Teasdale then waits, attacked in half-back, takes that ball from Blackmore and move it into Paul Wood. Nothing stupid from Rovers now, take your carries. This is the time, Jordan, that you want to see the one-out rugby, not the expansive play.
Exactly.
Here's Andy Bostock.
Absolutely, Ben, and you know what, we're not stupid, we know what to do. I reckon that Paul Sykes and Gaz Moore will be calling the shots, saying you do not pass, you do not try anything stupid, you get the ball down and you play it.
Rennie Maytua from Acton half finds Gareth Moore. That's off the Broncos. Is it going to be a repeat set? More still, it's Whitey. The referee's Whitey, and I don't think Gareth Moore realised, so he put the kick in. Difficult one to see, but the referee had White's that tackle count down. But it's going to be scrum down, head and feet to the Broncos.
Well, there's 30 seconds left, Ben, and I'm pretty sure we know what to do. We need to wrap that ball up, make sure that nothing silly happens, no penalties, nothing stupid, and let's go into the half time with a lead, because that'll be really good for the start of the second half.
So the scrum down is put down, and there's the head and feed. Samet moves it out wide. Broncos running it, trying to get a score late, but well wrapped up. That's great defence. 3 in the tackle. Hardman, Cording. Farrer moves it out to Nassau. Good defence again. Rovers want to go in with that noses in front, Jordan. Through the hands it goes, Naikama. Great defence again from Rovers. There's the kick. Not much depth to it. That's taken. What a tackle! I'll tell you something, Jordan. That is as good as a try.
It really is, and that effort to get back by Paul Sykes. It looks like the refs give a penalty, but who cares? We've gone into the half, they haven't scored, and they looked dangerous. They looked like they were about to score. Brilliant defensive effort there.
That tackle is as good as a try. The penalty's not even been given. What a first half from Rovers. Jordan, just very quickly, your thoughts on it?
Well, outstanding first half by the Rovers. We started off a bit shaky. They got a few points on board in the first few exchanges, but it looks like we've turned it around. We're going into the dressing rooms with a lead, and that's what we want. I know that Andy will be stressing to the boys, completion is key, and it looks to me like Andrew Bostock came on the field and absolutely changed the game for the Rovers. Ben, what do you think?
Absolutely superb. Bostock's made such a difference, which they didn't put in the tries as well, Jordan. But this is half-time. Jordan's on his way down to the dressing room to get some inside gossip for us. Half-time here at the Hive. Make sure you're back for the second half, folks. It's London Broncos 12, Featherstone Rovers 16. Good afternoon, folks. Welcome back to the second half here at the Hive. London Broncos 12, Featherstone Rovers 16. A real first half of two halves it was. During that first half, Broncos racing into a 12-point lead, but Rovers tries from Blackmore, Hitchcock and Bostock, of which two were converted, making a real difference. The introduction of Bostock was key in that first half to turning around the fortunes of the Rovers. As the Broncos return now, just awaiting the return of Jordan Baldwinson back up to the commentary box. Get some inside gossip from the dressing room from Jordan. Jordan, welcome back. What's Andy got to say in the dressing room?
Well, basically, he's really happy with the first half. He said we looked a bit shaky in the first 10 minutes, Ben, but we've clawed it back. He says that we've all done half a job now, so we really need to pile the pressure on, get the completions, because in the first 10 minutes the completions were very poor. We turned it around and it looks like we went from 4 from 5, 4 from 5, 5 from 5, 4 from 5, which is a good completion rate. He said that this second half he wants the kicks to go deep and he wants to put them in the corner because we've now got the wind behind our backs. So let's put the kicks in the corner and let's make it a real hard day for him in the corner, Ben.
Do you think the result against the Broncos at home could have had a bearing in that first 10 minutes?
Possibly so, Ben, and like we say, it was a tough day that day at home, and we're probably one of our worst performances of the season that day. But, I mean, we didn't start well today. We look like we've clawed it back. Let's just hope now that we can turn it around in this second half and start really strong.
Rovers defending a proud unbeaten record, not beaten away from home if you don't count the grand final since the 8th of August last year. So a great unbeaten record. Teesdale finding May Tour on this near side, trying to get through, gets Rovers up to halfway. Plays the ball to Teesdale, more now. Drop off pass to Paul Wood. He's looked immense today, Jordan.
He has, Ben, and you know what? He's lasted the whole 40 minutes. I got an injury report on Tim Spears. It looks like he's torn his calf, Ben, which is not good news for the Rovers.
Indeed it's not. That's a great take though from the Broncos and a good return, but Rovers, unlike the Broncos in the first half, able to snap out the opportunity. Here are the Broncos now then, trying to work out from their own half, just short of halfway. This game's not over by any means, is it, Jordan?
Absolutely not, Ben. I mean, look, we've got 40 minutes now. We know we've done half a job. We need to complete the game now and take the 2 points back home with us, because this 2 points is so important to us within the next few weeks. And a brilliant shot there. I don't know who that was it? Bostock and Bussey, brilliant tackle.
Who else but Andy Bostock?
He's having a great game today, Ben.
Nasso's still out on the field, so he's in out in half. Samet now, through the hands it goes, there's
Good
a kick.
Pressure.
Nobody wants that one, but Gareth Moore will eventually take it. So Rovers starting off just inside their own 20. Teesdale will find Will Sharp. I think Will Sharp and Ben Blackmore are better suited, Jordan, to scoot him from acting half as opposed to taking the first receiver.
I think they really are, Ben, because they're such strong blokes and they really know how to take the ball forward. And they cause the defensive line a lot of problems, and I love coming off the back of one of Ben Blackmore or Will Sharp's returns, because I know that it's going to be quick, it's going to be on the front foot, and I'm going to find my front afterwards.
Maytua. A great pass out wide to Sharp, who has to reach to take it. Does well to stay in the field of play. Good defence from Naikama. Chappell attacked in half, finds Moore. Moore will dink the kick downfield. It's taken by Ben Halliwell. How's the chase? It's a good chase led by Paul Wood. That's a great defence from Paul Wood. He's having a great match.
It really is, Ben, and like I was saying earlier,
The Broncos are away. It's the Broncos in the corner. No! What a tackle by Jai Hitchcock from Rhys Williams.
he does it again, Ben. He did it last week and he's done it again. That is as good, if not better, than any try. Brilliant effort by Jai.
It was a superb break from Rhys Williams, and he had the break on Hitchcock's.
He did. He was beating him in the foot race, Ben. It looks like Jai's just reached out. He's managed to grab a body part and he's dragged him in a touch. An absolutely outstanding effort by Jai, and that's what you get on a top-class player like Jai Hitchcock.
He has been immense these past 2 weeks, both on attack and defence, hasn't he?
It really has, and him and Alex Foster last week were outstanding, and once again today, it looks like Jai Hitchcock is really having an amazing game, and he's really hitting some form. He really is in top form, man.
So Rovers from that try-saver, now Nathan Chappell.
A real big let-off that was, Ben. Luckily, we've got players like Jai Hitchcock that can clean up for each other, but that defensive error in the London half there, we can't afford things like that. We need to tighten up and we need to really be strong in our defence.
It's about working for each other as a team. Hitchcock's your fullback. When you see a break like that, as Rovers get a penalty, holding down on Maitua. But when there's a fullback, you see your team, defensive line broken from your team.
Yes.
It's using your will and your energy to get across and cover.
Absolutely,
and working for your team.
And that's what you need in your fullbacks. Your fullbacks need to be a last defensive effort. If everything else has failed, your fullback comes in and cleans up, and that's what Jai's done a number of times for us this year.
Bostock. Teasdale from Matson half finds Paul Wood. Well wrapped up on that occasion. The ball's come loose. Referee said he was held. It's just going to be a play of the ball. No penalty. The ball came loose after the tackle was completed. Teasdale again now. Jack Bussey almost through a gap. Sykes now. Shows a great dummy.
Through with Paul Sykes there.
Teasdale! He's over! Is he? He's held up.
Shame that, Ben. It'd have been a great try.
Luke Teasdale, so unlucky from Matson half. More now. He'll put a crick to the corner for Sharp to chase. Sharp not interested, but great defence.
Really?
Pushing them back, Heather. Helped out by Maitua and more. That is outstanding, Jordan.
It really is.
Will Sharp first of all, then Chappell, then Moore, then Maitua. They wanted that dropout.
Absolutely, Ben, and that is what you call a massive team effort to get that ball back. Let's put some pressure on London now. They're under the cuff. They didn't want that ball then, and Rovers really look like they were G'ing up. Look at Teasdale, just clapping his players on, saying, "Come on, boys, we can do this."
Rovers are on such a high at the moment. And that's the dropout taken. It's taken by Chappell. He'll take that first tackle himself. And that's a good tackle as well. Teasdale now finds Bostock. More now. Maitua out the back door. It's gone backwards, says the referee. It's an interesting call. Teasdale again, though, finds Moore. Moore drops off to Paul Wood. Rovers getting the breaks at the minute. Here's Teasdale now. Moore shows it, finds Sykes. Sykes with it. Cording! That is outstanding! Oh, ho, ho. Rovers are on the charge, well and truly. A great drop-off pass for Cording. Running the angle, still so much to do, but able to get over.
Jamie Cording, outstanding. Take about absolutely brilliant try there. And the speed as well to beat the fullback, to get the ball down. And that break, the line was perfect, the ball was perfect. And there you go, Jamie Cording, 4 points, and the Rovers are on top again. It really is turning out to be a great day, Ben, it really is. All
this from Rovers being 12-0 down with 10 minutes to go in the first half. A 20-point turnaround within 20 minutes says so much for this Rovers team, doesn't it, Jordan?
It really does, and I think the boys have listened to Andy in the dressing rooms. Andy are really stressing that, listen lads, you're not going to get this game given to you, you're going to have to work for it, and it looks like the boys have understood that. They've gone back out, they've worked hard, and they really are punishing the London defenders out there today.
Where do you think Rovers are making the difference at the moment, Jordan?
I can't really, like I said earlier, Ben, I'm not really sure how to put my finger on it. It just looks like we've found our second win. We've got some points on the board, and as you know, the more you've got the ball, the more energy you're going to get. The less you've got the ball, the more defence you have to do, the less energy you have. And it looks like we're winning that energy battle at the moment, Ben. It looks like we're on top. We're making London defend, and we're making London go into hard places. So let's keep that pressure on, and let's keep completing these sets.
Paul Sykes with the conversion. So Rovers Stoper now a 10-point lead. London Broncos 12, Featherstone Rovers 22.
Yeah, and let's see how now we come back out in this half. After this try, we need to come back now with a good completed set. We need to kick the ball in there, Arthur. We need to D up. I'm pretty sure that the senior players such as Paul Sykes, you've got your Paul Woods, you've got your Matuas that are going to be calling the shots, making sure that we're nothing stupid. Let's complete this set, and Buzzy takes the first ball in for the Rovers.
Here's Jack Bussey then. Rovers on the charge, they're 12 points down. Less than 20 minutes ago in this game, and they've turned it into a 10-point lead. Some outstanding play on both defence and on attack. Teasdale now finds Wood. They're winning the forward battle as well, aren't we, Jordan?
We really are, Ben. If you look at the way that the Rovers are really taking the ball forward, we've got push on either side, we're finding our front, great carry by Rennie Matua to get them extra yards, and that's the difference it makes. Them extra 4 or 5 metres allows Ben Blackmore to take them carries, find his front, play the ball, and then Gaz and then Sykes can control the ball from there.
Here is Moore now. Moore with a dink over the top for Sykes. Sharp to chase. Well taken by Halliwell. That's a great chase from Sharp as well. The Broncos are starting in a perfect position. An almost perfect set for Rovers, Jordan. Bringing the ball upfield, getting the kick in, and pinning the Broncos back right where you want them.
Absolutely, and look at the Rovers' line speed off the line to get forward and strip down the metres that London are making. We're getting forward. Oh, we really didn't need that kind of penalty, Ben. They're the penalties that really punish us as a team.
When you do start such a good setting attack, get a great kick in, pin them back like you do, and then to concede a penalty like that must demoralise the team to an extent.
Well, it really is a cheap penalty, Benny. It's not like we had to give that penalty away. It's not like there were going to be a try scored by there. We really didn't need that penalty, and it just makes us have to defend more and more, which makes us more tired, and it makes us a bit more sloppy in defence.
Nassau moves that ball inside, then Groh. Look at that defence from Rovers. Bostock again in the tackle. He's a machine, is that man.
He's having a great day today, Ben, he really is.
Broncos though. McCartney's put it down, Moore's away. That was a free play. So starting at 0, here's Will Sharp. Still going, Will Sharp. And he gets the offload away to Hitchcock's. You can see the confidence in the play, the offloads are there. Everybody's wanting this ball now, Jordan.
Everyone's around the ball, everyone's pushing, everyone's keen and eager to get their hands on the ball and do damage to London. And that's what we need. We need somebody that's going to step up, take us forward, and then cause London to make a defensive error.
Here's Paul Sykes. That ball's come loose from Sykes, so possession's turned over. 25 metres out, centre field, so it'll be scrum down head and feet to the Broncos.
Just look at London's body language, Ben. They look absolutely dead on their feet, and there's still another 30 minutes to go. And this is what we need. This is what we need to do. We need to keep putting the pressure on and stop letting them off when times are getting hard.
I see what you mean about the body language, Jordan. They don't look like they want this, do they?
Look, Ben, if you look carefully, Ben, they've got their hands on their knees. The forwards are not getting set up quick enough. They're not calling the shots. They don't look like they want to play this half.
Here's Ben Farrer on the left edge for the Broncos, and just inside their own half. But look at that defence from Rovers. The line speed is superb. Closing them down almost as soon as the players got the ball. That's a better drive in from Jonathan Wallace. He's been one of their brighter players during this match, especially in the first half.
He has been, apart from that little error that he made when he dropped the ball from a really basic functional error. It's been quite dangerous, and he's a big lad. He carries the ball strong, and he's got a bit of pace about him, and he does take some stopping.
A dink over the top, but easily enough for Hitchcock. Oh, the touch shot is on again. It's going to be another penalty, I think, to Rovers. I thought I saw him swinging arm then.
I did as well, Ben. It looked like it was a bit of a cheap shot into Jai's mouth right there. It looks like the touch judge has seen it. He stuck his flag up, and this allows us to get to jump off the hook, because look where we are, Ben. Look where we would have been, pinned in the corner, which would have really piled the pressure on us right there.
It's a relieving penalty. It certainly is. It's a stupid penalty to give away for a Broncos player, isn't it?
Well, it is, because London need to keep a safe, steady game now. They are trailing, they're behind, and they need to make sure that they get the ball back. And look, they could have pinned us in the corner there, but fortunately they've let us off the hook, and we're finding some good field position.
Gareth Carvel is on for Rovers. Just when Rovers are on top like they are, and you can bring on a player like Carvel, that's great. And I think, I was about to say I thought it was Paul Wood, but Wood's still on. I can't see who's gone off for Rovers at the minute.
Well, it's like all times, Ben, with Paul Wood and Carvel for Warrington. We've got the Warrington back pretty much there, haven't we, Ben? So let's see what happens here.
Here's Jack Bussey.
He's been strong as well as Jack Bussey since he's come on, Ben. He really has took us forward with some good carries. He's
an underrated player, isn't he, Jordan? It does so much hard work for such a small unit.
It really is, and because he's such a small unit, it makes him really hard to tackle. And because he's so low centre of gravity and he's a strong kid, it really is an awkward player to tackle.
A great kick from Rovers there, pinning the Broncos back again. They're going to have to restart on their own 10 again. Rovers at the moment are in control of this match, aren't we?
They really are, and look where we are. Brilliant field position. We're on their 10 metres line, we're defending up, we look strong, we look in control, and everyone's looking good, so let's hope that we can now put some more pressure onto the London team.
The key now for Rovers has got to be the discipline. Keep your discipline, keep the Broncos penned down here. No silly penalties, and this game's here for the taking now.
Dwyer once again, Ben, he really is a threat, isn't he?
It's such a dangerous player. Such a good player to reintroduce. So there's an attempted offload from Harrison. The Broncos are standing. Look at Matt Garside then. He was out in half back then, Jordan. He took that pass and looked around and said, who's my runners?
Exactly. It looks like they've got no direction at all, Ben. And at the end of the day, I'm not complaining.
Oh, they're away though. Is it Samet? It's Minchella. But good scrambling defence again. Oh, the pass goes to ground, a nothing kick. That, I'm sorry.
Paul Sykes.
Paul Sykes.
He nearly was away there, Ben. He just nearly was.
And a penalty as well.
That's what we need. That's what we need to relieve it. And then we're on the front foot. And Paul Sykes there nearly made a break, Ben. That would have been lovely, wouldn't it? Paul Sykes, an 80-metre try.
But just looking back at that last Broncos set, there's no organisation in the team. There's no direction. One played the ball, the acting half looked round and actually said to his team, who are my runners?
Exactly, and now looks like we've reintroduced Matt James, another big player from us off the bench. He'll take some stopping with Matt James.
I think Paul Wood's, oh no, he's still on it, Paul Wood.
He really is putting a big stint in today, isn't he, Ben?
It's outstanding, it's Paul Wood at the moment. Sykes shows it once. A drop-off pass, it's Hitchcock's. Rovers are playing with so much confidence at the minute. More shows it to make two of them, goes himself, but scramble in defence. Teasdale waits. He'll go himself. He wants to try.
And he's
got to try. That is outstanding effort from Atin, halfback. Rovers have got a crucial 3-score lead. London Broncos 12. Featherstone Rovers 26.
It really has put some daylight in between the two teams now, Ben. Lou Teasdale, the strength to get that ball down is unbelievable. And he is such a strong player, Ben. I see him in the gym all the time. He's always strong, he's always doing well, he's always training hard. And that's the rewards he gets. he comes into the team and he gets his name on the score sheet. And fair play to Luke Teasdale, outstanding effort, mate.
I have to pay credit as well, not just to Luke Teasdale, but to the travelling support away to our left. It's absolutely outstanding, the noise around us, Jordan.
They really have been, and they come in numbers every single week to support us. Win or lose, they're always there, and they really are such loyal fans, and we really need them to keep behind us, because in the next few weeks we know we've got some big teams, and we're going to need our fans there cheering and shouting us on.
This was dubbed as the first of a massive month for Rovers. A real challenge this was dubbed as, and it has been so. But Rovers at the minute are really rising to the challenge. They've really upped the game almost 2 or 3 levels since they played the Broncos at the Big Fellas.
Well, I don't think we've actually lost since Rennie Matu has joined the team, Ben. I don't think that he's played in the Rovers team where we've actually had a loss. I don't know whether that's because of Rennie Matu or whether it's us playing a bit more confident. I don't know what it is, but we're looking strong.
He's kicked it out straight in line with it, straight to the narrow. 22 minutes left. London Broncos 12, Featherstone Rovers 28. A 3-score lead, and Rovers at the minute look to be heading back north with the 2 points.
They really do, Ben. It looks like it's going to be a good coach trip home, because it's a long way to come to lose. And Matt James taking the first carry, strong, finding his front. Good carry there by Matt James to start off this first set.
Indeed it is. Teasdale finds Carvel. The noise around us is deafening at the moment. It's been superb as this Maitua takes on Nakama. If you're Andy Hay, how do you pick your team week in, week out? You've got such quality and depth.
Well, it really has, hasn't it, Ben? I mean, we've still got a lot of players that are due to come back through injury. There's players that have missed out just because some of the boys are playing so well that he just can't not choose them. For example, Will Sharp's been outstanding. He's had to put him straight back in the team.
When you look at this performance, sat on the sidelines, Jordan, Rovers just inside the Broncos 40. Mate, you've got a job to do. You've got a job on to get your place back in this team.
Absolutely, Ben, absolutely. And like you say, obviously, when I do come back from injury next week, if Andy decides to pick me, I need to up my game as well as all the boys have done, because it's not the easiest team to choose, and I bet Andy has an headache choosing this team.
Here are the Broncos then, trying to work out from their own 20. But look at that defence again from Rovers. Absolutely outstanding. The line speed at the moment is 3 yards faster than the Broncos in everything we're doing.
There's 20 minutes left, Ben. 20 minutes, a solid defence. If we can keep them out from scoring now, we've won the game.
Lovegrove gets the Broncos just short of halfway. It's the last. Dwyer to Sammer. Through the hands it goes. They're running it on the last. And that, I'm sorry to say, for the Broncos is poor. And Rovers are away again. Cording takes on that line. That's poor from the Broncos. When you're under pressure like you are, you've got to get your kick away, pinning the Rovers back in the corner, make us run it from deep. That is
poor skill, Ben, by London Broncos. But like I say, I'm not complaining with the way London are playing at the moment. I'm happy with our boys making sure that we're on top, and I'm happy with London Broncos making these errors, because it's just giving us the ball, it's giving us chances to score.
Carvel almost through a gap. Paul Sykes wants a quick play the ball, he finds more. Moore drops it off to Maitua again. Teasdale, Sykes, Chappell! This Jordan is absolutely outstanding. Nathan Chappell's over now. London Broncos 12, Featherstone Rovers 32. Maitua with the pass to Sykes. Sykes with a cut-out pass to Chappell. That was outstanding.
What about the vision, Ben, from Paul Sykes to spot that overlap on that edge and see Chappell running that perfect line. Chappell lets the line and he's over, and it almost looked like he walked over the try line there, did Chappell, for that try. Absolutely brilliant passage of play by Paul Sykes, Maitua and Chappell. Outstanding, Ben.
Rovers' unbeaten record is preserved, and this has been dubbed as probably the toughest challenge we've got to date this season. But boy, have we risen to this challenge.
And it really is a reaction to the last time we played them, Ben, because as we can all remember, last time it wasn't the best of games. It was probably our worst game of the season last time we played London. So this really is a real big wake-up call to London to let the other teams know in the league we are here and we are ready and we want to play, and we want to place in that top four.
Rovers are certainly sending message out saying we mean business, aren't we, at the moment?
Absolutely, Ben. And look at our past results. We have been winning, and we've been winning convincingly. Last week against Workington, we put 70 points on them, and today against London, who are a full-time team. Make sure you don't forget that, Ben. They are a full-time team, and look at the score. We are 32 points and to 12 against London Broncos.
A 20-point lead for Rovers at the minute, with a conversion to come from side, so we're smack bang in line with this conversion as well. The ground gun just for a minute. It's kicked it, you know. That is superb. London Broncos 12, Featherstone Rovers 34 now. Rovers on the charge. Look out, the middle eight. Rovers are coming to get you. London Broncos 12, Featherstone Rovers 34.
And I'm going to take you back, Ben, to last week when I was stressing around about the points difference on the league table. Let's get as many points as we can on the league, because, like I said last week, the more points, the higher up we will be on the league table.
This is great for Rovers. Probably the first mistake Rovers have made this half. Ben Blackmore not able to stay that kick-off. But this is great for Rovers because not only are they building the points difference, Jordan, they're building it against one of the biggest rivals.
Exactly, and London Broncos are contenders for that top four spot, Ben. And as we know, London Broncos are a good team. These guys are no mugs. They beat us last time at our own place, and we know that this is a massive game for us, and we need as many points as we can because we need it to be as high up as we can when it comes to that top four.
And here are the Broncos now trying to work through. Nakama now. That's a drop-off pass. It's Jonathan Wallace again. Let's see how Rovers' defences have not been on defence down here for a good 10 minutes this match. Through the hands it's worked. It's worked out to that left-hand edge, but the Broncos are over. The Broncos have hit back. But they try again, Jordan. It's from a Rovers mistake.
I say this so many times, Ben. I don't know how many times I'm going to have to say it, but like I say, we always concede when it offer of bad mistakes or penalties. And like I said, from the kick-off, we make a silly mistake. I mean, it was a good kick-off, I agree, but we should have had numbers behind that ball to stop that. And like I say, you know, we make errors and we concede points, and that's our downfall. And let's hope that this doesn't sway the momentum of the team with the way that the Rovers are going at the moment, Ben, because you know, this can easily change. I mean, they're not too far behind, Ben.
Up until that try, Rovers have scored 34 unanswered points in this match to really take control. But a soft try it was over in that corner, and this is a massive kick for Nakama to take. This could get the Broncos back in this match. It's an 18-point lead at the minute. If he doesn't kick this for the Broncos to win, they need four scores. There's the kick, it's gone across the face. Rovers hold an 18-point lead with 15 minutes left. London Broncos 16. Featherstone Rovers 34.
We need a big reaction, Ben, from that try. As I say, you know, London, they can easily bring this back. They're not too far behind. We have got 18 points in front, but like I say, you know, it is definitely doable for London. We just need to make sure we keep staying on top. We've been on the run, and we don't want to lose this game now. We've got the 2 points. Let's keep them.
Keep the defence, keep your defence strong, keep your discipline. That's got to be the message from Andy Hay now.
Well, they'll be sending out the messages onto the field saying, everyone, we need a good defensive set. We need two, and it's kicked on the full, Ben. That's what we really didn't need, that.
That's how it started for the Rovers, Jordan. From the Rovers' first try, a kick-off on the full gave them possession, and that's how the Rovers fight back began.
Like I say, every time we ever seem to concede, Ben, we always give away silly errors, silly penalties, and we've given a silly error again. Let's hope it doesn't turn into points, because we really need to keep them out and away from our try line.
Dwyer now. Here are the Broncos. It's Williams. Oh, Wallace, sorry. Broncos attacking down this side. Now it's Minchella. They're in the Rovers 20. They've 3 or 4 tackles still in hand. Dwyer finds Lovegrove. Dwyer has got the offload. It's off Matt. Ben White's clean. Andy Ellis is back on. Andy Ellis is back on for Luke Teasdale. He's had a great stint, Teasdale. But the Broncos have got 6 pen to Rovers line. Dwyer for a gap.
And he always goes for them cheeky tries near the try line, Ben, does Dwyer. And he scored against us last time we played, I can remember rightly, under the sticks last time we played against him. We need to watch him near the try line.
Samet tries to step inside, but good defence from Rovers. It needs a big defensive effort here to keep the Broncos out. Lovegrove. Good defence from Ellis, along with Cording and James. Samet down that short side. The Broncos are over again. This game is not over, folks. London Broncos 20. Featherstone Rovers 34.
Once again, Ben, it comes from an error. And I keep saying it, and I keep saying it. Errors, 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 and they cost us points. And we can't keep living like this. We can't keep playing the game where errors are always the downfall of our team. We need to be able to react from errors, turn attack into defence. The transition is key. Make sure that we want to defend just as much as we want to attack.
It's going to be a long 12 minutes, is this, for both teams, I think, Jordan. It's been nip and tuck all the way. The Broncos racing into a 12-point lead. Rovers then scoring 34 unanswered points. But the Broncos are now on the way back as well. Naikama hits the post. That's a huge miss in terms of the result of this match.
Absolutely, Ben, and it gives us a 14-point deficit, so they're going to have to score at least twice, and then they'll have to score 3 times in order to beat us, Ben.
Hang on to your hats, folks. We're into a brain-busting 11 minutes left here. This game is not over by any stretch of the imagination. Sykes kickoff is a better one this time. It is taken. And the Broncos having to work deep from their own 20, where Rovers want them to be.
Let's give another penalty, Ben. This is really what we do not need. Penalties in their half when we're putting them in their half. We do not need this at all.
So here come the Broncos again. Now it's Lovegrove. Starting just inside their own 40. That wasn't played. Brad Dwyer, though, wrapped up on that occasion by Paul Sykes. Sama moves the ball out to the left.
Another penalty.
Tackle. Discipline at this rate, Jordan, is going to end up costing Rovers if they're not careful.
I don't know why we're going through a bit of a phase, Ben, at the moment, where we're giving really silly mistakes away, and it seems to be punishing us at the moment.
Dwyer takes the tap to Samet then. Here's Wallace. 10 metres out in front of the uprights. Rovers just need the ball at the moment. Samet again through a gap. Samet is over for the Broncos.
I don't really know what to say right at this moment in time, Ben. I'm a bit shocked, to be honest with you. I don't understand how we can go from being so far up and being so dominant into being on the back foot at such a valuable time in the game.
Rovers at the minute, Jordan, just need the ball. Get the ball back, get some possession, complete your sets, get a good kick-off, a good defensive set, no penalties, get the ball back, and then build on what you've been doing so well for the middle 35 minutes of the match.
Absolutely, and we need to put our heads together and say, listen up boys, what are we doing here? We need to get hold of this ball, complete the sets. We do not need to be giving London silly errors, silly mistakes, and letting them come creep back into the game. They're not too far behind now, and they can bring it back, and this is what we didn't want to see, Ben. We really didn't want to see this position, but unfortunately we are.
Wallace takes that first drive. This game is well and truly on, folks. You would not have fancied that to be the case 10 minutes ago.
8 minutes left, Ben.
That's a good drive from Daniel Harrison. Lovegrove again. Through the hands it goes. Samus out the back. That's great play from the Broncos, stretching the field, stretching that Rovers defence. 8 minutes left here. Samet again.
Dropped the ball, Ben. London look like they've dropped the ball and we've got the ball back. Knock on there
Rovers,
by London.
That's a relief for Rovers. Just a chance now. Just Jordan now. All they've got to do now is complete your set. Get the Broncos back down here.
If I was Paul Sykes, if I was Paul Wood out on that field right now, I'd be saying to my boys, listen up fellas, it's stick it up the jumper time, there's nothing stupid. We complete our sets, we do not give anything away. We make sure that we're critical about what we do, and we make sure that we do not give cheap, easy ball away.
The clock opposite us has gone off, and the one behind us says there's 7 minutes 40 seconds left, so Andy Ellis. We have got a lot of experience out on that field, Jordan, which will help us in this situation.
We really have, and that's what we need. We need experience that have been through this time and time again, and they know what to do in these tough positions.
Wood. That's some of the experience we talk about, taking that drive in. Sensible play, Rovers here. Sykes now finds more Sykes on that line. It's the last tackle for Rovers, so it's going to be Paul Sykes. A dink over the top. That's
so strong.
That's poor, is that? I'm sorry, Jordan.
It is.
That's a poor way to end the set when you've been under so much pressure. You've got a kick for the corner. Fine touch.
What's he done that for?
The Broncos with an interesting tactic there.
Oh, Ben Battler. Oh, we've got a penalty, Ben. Thank God for that.
Oh, that's a relieving penalty, but an interesting tactic from the Broncos.
Like I said, Ben, I didn't really understand why he did that. I don't know what he was going for. Was he going for the bouncing out or what? I don't know what that was.
I think what he was trying to do was to get a quick kick away. The wingers hadn't dropped back enough.
Right.
And use the speed of the wingers down that side to try and break away, but the execution was really poor.
Well, it was. It didn't look like the London wingers knew what was going on there, Ben, or any of the other players for that matter.
Then a relief to have another set in possession, and Andy Bostock in possession now. 30 metres out. Sykes finds Ian Hardman, who was looking for Blackmore but well wrapped up. 5 minutes left on the clock behind us. Ellis. Bostock sees a gap and goes for it. It's well wrapped up by Harrison. Moore now takes on that line. That'll do for Rovers. Rovers 5 metres away. Ellis finds Paul Wood, looking for the offload to Bostock. Bostock tries to spin away, takes the tackle. Here's the last. What's the option, left or right? Moore with the dab through. Bussing!
And that's a good winner, Ben. I think that sealed the deal, Ben, for the Rovers. That was an outstanding play, and what an amazing kick by Gaz to put it in and place it perfectly for Bussy to jump on the ball. That's a brilliant, and I think that's won the game for us, Ben. I really do. We've got only 4 minutes left, Ben. I think the game's in the bag now. I don't want to say anything. I don't want to jinx the boys, but I really do think that that's the game winner right there.
An absolutely sensational try from Rovers, created by the ingenuity and the sharp mind of Gareth Moore there, Jordan, to put the kick in behind. And Jack Buss is so quick off the mark and able to jump to get that ball down. That's a crucial try in the context of this match.
And the kick was absolutely perfect, Ben. If you can watch it back, you can have a look, and the ball was literally on the plate for Jack Bussey, and Jack Bussey just went up and ate that ball up like it was just on a plate for him. It was outstanding.
4.5 minutes left here at the Hive down in London. London Broncos 26, Featherstone Rovers 38, with a conversion to come from Sykes. This will once again stretch the lead out to a 3-score lead, and this is a massive kick. He's kicked it. Rovers have the 3-score lead back. It's London Broncos 26, Featherstone Rovers 40.
Turns out, Ben, that Paul Sykes' kicking game has been pretty good today off the cone, like I said earlier, so I don't know about that first one where we jinxed him, but other than that, he's been outstanding off the cone today, Ben, he really has.
Will Sharp takes that kick off then with 4 minutes left, Jordan. It's a tough goal today. It was a great start for the Broncos. Rovers with 34 unanswered points. Then the Broncos hitting back, and I think Rovers have put it to bed. But so many good performances out there for Rovers. Who's your man of the match?
Absolutely, Ben. I totally agree with you. There's been some outstanding performances by a number of players for the boys today. Giant Stock's been sharp all day today, and he's been dangerous. I also think Paul Wood's been very, very good today. But I think there can only be one man today, and I think you know it is, Ben. It's got to be Bostock today for the man of the match.
Bostock has been outstanding off the bench, especially in that first half, to turn the game for Rovers. Here's another kick from Moore. Sharp chasing this one as well. He's knocked it back, it's gone forward. Rovers have that 3-score lead. I think we know the game's in the bag now. The Rovers fans away to our left are in fantastic voice again. There was a little mini scare, Jordan, with the Broncos fight back in the mid part of that second half.
There was, Ben, and I was a bit worried, as was you. And I'm pretty sure that Andy A was pretty worried as well up in the coach's box. But it looks to me like the 2 points are coming home with us to Big Fella Stadium, Ben.
Rovers preserved their unbeaten away record since August last year. It's a proud record to have when you think of the teams that we've played since then.
Absolutely, Ben. And you know what an amazing reaction from the last time we played London, Ben. As if I can remember rightly, we got beat pretty convincingly, and it looks like we've turned the tables round, and we are the informed team in this league at the moment.
Apart from the Centurions, of course, Centurions are probably top of the form table, but Rovers now on a roll. I think now it's 5 straight wins going into the game against the Catalans. That's a different proposition altogether next week.
Well, obviously, Ben, the Catalans, we know the Super League side, we know that they've got some amazing world-class players, but at the end of the day, the pressure's on Catalan at the end of the day, and we've got nothing to lose. We're going to go over there and we're going to give it our best shot, and we're going to make sure that we leave there with making sure that the Rovers are done proud.
Here are the Broncos. Lovegrove still going to the Broncos, and it's Harrison. Daniel Harrison is over for the Broncos. This is the most unbelievable match today. We're inside the last minute as Daniel Harrison goes over under the sticks. London Broncos 30, Featherstone Rovers 40. Who'd have thought this an hour and a half ago?
Well, Ben, like I say, London are a good team and they know how to score points, and we know they do, as proven. But that was a bit of a consolation try, and it's a bit of a shame that we've finished the game on that kind of note, Ben, because we scored with a brilliant try from Bussey. To allow London to score that cheap try at the end of the game, it doesn't matter because we have won the game. But it's one of them things where you can go home and you can say, listen, you know, we shouldn't have let that happen. You know, we need to finish on the high, and we haven't really. But at the end of the day, keep our heads up, boys, because we've got the 2 points, and which has been an outstanding performance. Other than that scare in the second half of that 10-minute period, it's been an outstanding performance.
And so will be the Broncos with the last score of the game. A lot to go through from this match. It was all the Broncos in the opening 30 minutes. Tries from Thackeray. 2 tries for the Broncos. Thackeray got one. I didn't see who got the second, but they were both converted by Nakama. And that says it all, Jordan. From the kickoff, the Broncos knocking the ball dead in goal.
And that's the game, Ben, and that's the game, and the 2 points are ours. Brilliant effort from the boys today.
From that 12-point lead for the Broncos, Rovers took control. Blackmore, Hitchcocks and Bostock in that first half. 2 conversions. Rovers going in front 16-12. The second half opened in what an opening it was. Tries from Cording, Teesdale, Chappell for Rovers, stretching that lead out to 34 points. A mini scare for Rovers when Williams and Halliwell hit back to get it back to 34-26. A try from Bussey with 2 minutes to go to stretch it out to 40 before the Broncos hit back with a try from Harrison at the end. Jordan, time to catch your breath, but what a match it's been.
My God, Ben, has it been a match? It really has, and you didn't know which team was going to win at any given point. London started off well. The Rovers then clawed it back. We managed to make a big deficit in the scores, but it looked like London didn't give up. And for that 10 minutes where they kept scoring and scoring, Ben, I was worried. I know you was worried. I'm sure Andy was worried. But so the way that we finished off with Jack Bussey scoring that try from Gaz's kick, it really sealed the deal. And I think that it's been a well-earned win today.
It shows the commitment to desire of this team, Jordan, though. Not to give up when you're under the pressure like that, when they get back to within 8 points like they did, to show the desire to clever kick through from Gareth Moore. Jack Bussey able to get that try down. The game changing it was. That gave the game to Rovers. But what an effort it's been.
It really was, Ben, and I can honestly say the boys have given it their all today. It's been a shame because we've had Tim Spears with a bit of an early injury early on, which made the interchange bench quite hard for Andy here to choose which subs he were going to choose and what times he were going to put them on. But the boys really dug deep today, and it's been a marvellous game, and it's been a pleasure to watch. And unfortunately, for me, I wasn't out there with the boys to earn the win, but 2 points it is, and 2 points we've got.
Well, that is the full-time score here. The Broncos. Rovers maintain their unbeaten record. Bring on the Catalans, that's what I say.
Yes, bring them on, Ben, bring them on. We'll see you next week, and we'll see you in Catalan.
London Broncos 32, Featherstone Rovers 40. Andy, what a match.
Yeah, real tough start for us. We knew that our short sides, and they did, and got a bit of joy out of it early on. And although we fixed that up, and to come back in the first half like we did was a great effort from the boys. We thought they'd tire a little bit through the middles, and they only had two front rows off the bench, and they did in the first half. Second half again, we started off really well, but I thought we just dropped off a bit at the end. Whether it's the bus journey and the long trip down here or not, or just us losing a little bit of focus on some of their plays at the end, and they got the swing of the ball and scored a couple of tries on us to make a competition of it. But real good win. We needed those 2 points. It's a tough place to come. They've only been beat once here this year, and that's the second time. And they're a tough opposition, so we're pleased to get the win.
What do you think the difference was between the two teams? Obviously, when they went into a 12-0 lead, what do you think changed it to bring Rovers back into the match?
I thought after the couple of early tries, and we should have done better on them, and we need to improve on our goal line D. But our defence was outstanding. There's a strong wind, which you can't, you'll not get off the video, but there's a real strong wind, and they had the advantage of that in the kicking in the first half. And our defence was very good. They couldn't get out of their own half apart from the kicking game. So we knew we'd get the ball, and when we had to tough it out and bring it off our own line a lot. But the players stood up for themselves, and once they're tired, we scored some nice tries through the middle.
Andy Bostock made a real difference when he came onto that front line, especially.
He did, yeah. He's probably fortunate on the timing when he got on there, and some of the platform was probably laid for him. But he did make a difference, and he broke them a couple of times, and he's been playing well for us.
Tim Spears went off very, very early on with an injury to replaced by Jack Bussey, who played some good minutes today.
Yeah, Jack played well, probably on earlier than we thought, and Tim's hurt his calf, so we'll have to get a check on that. It doesn't look great. I thought Jack played really well, and then we rolled him on in the back row for Rennie, and he scored a nice try, so good day for him.
Any other injury news out of today?
No, there's some bumps. It was a tough game, and they made it a tough competition. There's some big hits out there, and I thought, Paul Wood was outstanding to play 80 minutes as a front row. He didn't want to come off the field, and he said before the game he felt great and he could play 80 minutes today, and he did. So credit to him, because we needed it when we lost a rotation with Spearsy.
Looking ahead now, you've got a tough game next week at Catalans. I mean, this must put you in a good frame of mind going for what's probably the most toughest challenge of the year.
It does, yeah, because Catalan, they're going to be a step up from London, but London played very physical today. They've got some big guys in there, and so have Catalan. So it's a little bit of a warm up for our guys, and we'll check tomorrow on all the injuries, and we're going to pick a fit squad to go over there and have a real good go at them.
The back three especially as well played well today. Jai Hitchcock scored a very good try in the first half as well.
I thought he did. Yeah, he made a mistake early on with the kick, and didn't let it faze him. He come back and scored a great try, and then Will Sharp come back in the team and gives us everything what we expect of him. And like we said, we rested him a couple of weeks and he's back to his best. So real good performance. And he was hurting at half time and after the game because of his missing a couple of games. So it's great to get that back into him, and looking forward to Catalan next week.
Rovers still unbeaten, going back to the 8th of August last year. You must be proud of this record that you've got.
Yeah, we are. We are. The group's coming together. It's been a good trip down. It's tough, 3 hour and a bit bus journey, and the boys will enjoy it on the way home. Those who can have a beer, and we're looking forward to getting to Catalan. It's going to be a tough game over there, so they might test our record, but we're going to go on there and enjoy it.
Have you got an idea of who you want to see, or any players that can or can't be there next week?
No, not yet. Like I said before the game, Remy Marginet is 50-50, so he could play. Who else did we leave out? Somebody else we left out, 50-50. Thomas Mins, yeah. So they're all back in contention, and we'll see what we've got tomorrow and probably Wednesday, and we'll select the team for them.
Andy, thanks very much.